What's up, everybody? It's BC back again with a brand new video that I promised you. And today I'm going to switch gears just a little bit and talk to you about the mindset, changing the mindset. And I'm also going to give away my top 5 tips to eliminating self-defeating habits. So, with that being said, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified when I update any video, and especially the ones you like this. So, let's get into it. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I definitely 100% agree that life begins at the end of your comfort zone, because me personally, the day I decided to have an open mind and change the way I think about things and change the way I see things is the day I got to experience life through a different set of eyes. Your mindset. Rewire your hard drive and download some new software. And what I mean by that is you have to unlearn those unhealthy habits that you were taught as a child. You have to download some new software. You have to open your mind and download some new information so you can be a success in whatever industry, relationship, business, whatever it is you're trying to get into. The definition of mindset in medicine, it says a fixed mental attitude or disposition that predetermines a person's responses to and interpretations of situations. Number 2, an inclination or a habit. Or number 1, a fixed mental attitude. You have to change that word fixed to open. An open mental attitude. And when you do that, a lot of things that you see, a lot of things that come to your mind, a lot of information that you get, you'll see it in a totally different way. The way you think today is a residual effect of the things you were taught growing up and the experiences you've had in your life. I can guarantee you that. One of the major examples that always stuck to me was the phrase, "Don't get your hopes up too high." As a kid, I never understood that. Even as a kid, that made no sense to me. I'm like, that's crazy that you want my hopes to be low. You don't want them to be high. You want me to have low expectations. Am I hearing that right? That made no sense to me. And I think the sad part about it is we don't even realize that some of those phrases has hindered us throughout our life. We've allowed phrases as such to invite lack and fear into our lives through that doorway specifically, because our expectations were so low. And we probably didn't even realize it. So you have to change your mental attitude. You have to change the way you see things. And I promise you, the way you see things, if you change that, everything you see will look totally different. You will see everything through a new set of eyes, and you'll have a whole new ability to hope and dream bigger than you always have. So getting into my top 5 tips to eliminating your self-defeating habits. Number 1 is focus, and these are not in any particular order. It's focus. I chose focus because I feel like you gotta have focus in anything you're doing. You gotta have focus. You don't need to know how everything is gonna happen, but you just need to believe that it's gonna happen. So stop focusing on how. How can I get this done? How can I get that done? I gotta get it done. I gotta do that. Don't focus so more on the how and try to figure out ways. Take a moment and focus on your why. And when you focus on your why, it's going to take you into a deeper part of yourself. It's going to take you so deep when you focus on your why. And I got to say that if your why is only about making money, that why is not strong enough. It's not strong enough to keep your focus. So when you're going through the rough times of business and relationships, sometimes you have to go back and think, why did I start this business in the first place? Why did I get in this relationship in the first place? So you got to focus on your why, and everything else will definitely fall in line. Like I said, it definitely has to be bigger than money. And if it's not, you're going to have a hard time getting through it. Number 2, positivity. And I say that, do not be too hard on yourself when it comes to positivity. When it comes to having a positive mindset, you definitely have to work on it. But do not be too hard on yourself, especially if this is the first time you hearing this type of information. It's definitely hard to stay in a positive mindset all the time. Everyone can agree with that. So, like I said, especially when you're just learning, that's always hard. Once you're doing it for a while, it becomes second nature, and then you don't have any problems. But learning it and hearing it for the first time and then working through it, you're definitely gonna have a hard time. So, like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. The advice I would give to you is just pay attention to how you're feeling in that moment and reach for a better feeling. When you focus on positive thoughts, you get positive results. I've been through it, and everything I'm saying to you is because I've been through it. This is nothing that no one has told me. I've experienced this myself. Focus on positive thoughts, and you will always get positive results. Number 3, dream small. Now, anyone that knows me knows that my motto has always been to dream big. And at some point, you can do that. If you're not at the point where you can dream big, you have to dream small. You have to start off small in order to start to see bigger vision. So you use those small dreams and then you put them together and you'll have a much bigger vision. So, for instance, when you look at this screen, looking at this money, what are the first few things that come to your mind? Some people, it may be a car, it may be a house, it may be a boat, yacht, whatever. For me, those are small dreams. That's just for me. For me, when I see the money, I think about family. I think about, what I can do to help my family if I'm in a position of having a ton of money. And that leads me to the next one, freedom. When I see money, I think of financial freedom. My thoughts are more so towards what I can give to someone else and not necessarily to what I can get. Yeah, I can get a whole lot of things with the money, but what can I do for somebody else? I can help somebody who's having a hard time paying bills, or maybe they've never been on a trip. I want to be that one in my family and friends and people that's closest to me to be able to provide that. So, family, freedom, financial freedom, and time. When I see money, I think of time. Like, when you don't have to worry about how you're going to get your bills paid, and you can't go here, you can't go there, there's not enough money, X, Y, and Z. When you don't have to worry about that and you have financial freedom, then your world is so much lighter. I promise you. So those are the things that I see. And for me, that's on a deeper level. I had to ask myself the same question. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What is your why? What is your why? And my why is so my family and friends can have a better life, because we've been down way too long. Number 4, problems. Used as a noun. Number 1, any question or matter involving doubt, uncertainty, or difficulty. Number 2, a question, proposed for a solution or discussion. Used as an adjective. Difficult to train or guide, unruly, problem child. Dealing with choices of action, difficult either for an individual or for society at large, a problem play. Used as an idiom, no problem. Used as a conventional reply to a request or express confirmation, affirmation, or gratitude. In my eyes, problems are meant to be solved. That's just how I see them. Instead of looking at a problem in a negative light, put a spin on it. Ask yourself these 2 questions. When your problem arises, ask your problems these 2 questions. What are you trying to teach me, and how can I solve it? And I guarantee once you put it in the question form, your energy will shift and you will be on a totally different frequency. It's going to turn it around positive. Number 5, Worrying is worthless. Have no worries. Have no worries. You know, worrying is a form of self-harassment, and I bet you never even looked at it like that. But worrying is a form of self-harassment. Worrying doesn't bring you any solutions. They distract you from finding all of them. Okay, so understand that worrying doesn't bring you any solutions. They distract you from finding them. When you're worrying about how did when you're worrying about, you know, how this makes you feel, how that make you feel, you know, what's going on with this. When you're constantly worrying, it doesn't feel good. Am I right? Right. It doesn't feel good at all. So, in my opinion, it's totally insane to do the things that make you feel bad. And worrying says to me that you don't believe that you can have whatever it is you truly want. That's how I see it. So, take the next steps to feel better. You know, you have to start where you are. You have to start where you are. You can't go from depression and then feel happy. That's just impossible. So you have to go from depression to maybe feeling anger. Maybe that's a bit more easier transition. So I'm gonna leave it at 5 for this video, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video, and I'm gonna finish off the video because I actually got a bonus for you that I want you to hear about. So I'm gonna catch you in the next video.